Thank you, everybody. I know we're getting settled in here. I want to thank everyone for being here today. Today, we're going to officially swear in the 43rd Police Commissioner of the City of Boston, Dennis White. We're going to conduct the oath, and I'm going to invite our new commissioner up to say a few words. After that, we're going to give the COVID update. Chief Marty Martinez will also be here to answer any questions on COVID. And I'll then talk about our preparations for the snowstorm that's coming today, in the next couple hours, and into tomorrow, and what we need to do to remain safe. But before I begin, I'd like to ask Pastor Arthur Gerald to lead us in prayer, the retired pastor, I should say, of Boston's 12th Baptist Church, a dear friend to me personally and to the City of Boston. Pastor Gerald.
Thank you. Now let us pray. Our Father who art in heaven, we are grateful for this day and for this occasion for which we have gathered here in this hallowed hall. Our prayers go forward today for the city of Boston, our wonderful mayor who has distinguished Boston as a world-class city. We pray for our outgoing Commissioner William Gross, Big G, and family, who was a trailblazer in his position. I pray your blessings upon him for health and happiness as he retires from city service. On this particular day, O Lord, I pray for my brother, Dennis White, and his family, who on this day is being elevated to the position of Police Commissioner for the City of Boston. May the words of the Old Testament prophet Micah, chapter 6 and verse 8, ring forth within his spirit and guide him in the position as commissioner, as it reads, "He has shown you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? But to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." We are grateful today for our mother's thoughts, prayers, and prophetic word which has come to fruition. Commissioner White, may your steps be ordered by the Lord as you go forward in this your new position in a city where you were born and have been a part of for all of your life. May you lead with a heart of compassion for the city of Boston and with a knowledge based and built upon your years of great service. I pray that the Lord will bless you, your family, and your loved ones as you lead this city as our new police commissioner, to the glory and honor of God. Let the people of God and those who believe in the power of prayer say amen. And just say it one more time. Amen. God bless you all.
Thank you, Pastor Gerald. And I want to just, to the folks that are watching this press conference, Pastor Gerald leads a peace walk in Roxbury during the summertime, a couple times a week and a couple shifts during those times. And we've had some incredible walks through Warren Gardens and different parts around Nubian Square and through the square. So I want to thank you for your guidance, your leadership, your friendship, in the prayers for Boston, and always being there anytime that we call you. So thank you, my friend. Before I move into the swearing in, I want to take a few moments to recognize and thank Commissioner Gross for his leadership and his 37 years of service to the people of the city of Boston. One of my proudest moments as mayor was appointing Willie Gross to police commissioner back in 2018. He's somewhere. He's right there. I was looking for him. He led the department with passion and purpose. He embodied a strong spirit of community policing. He made our neighborhood safer, and he took Boston's national leadership to a whole new level. And as a leader, he has never shied away from taking on the most difficult challenges. That's certainly how he's navigated this department through this monumental change that we're going through right now. in what we experienced last summer. As we battled COVID, we worked together to produce the most ambitious set of police reforms in the Boston Police Department's history. Commissioner Gross leaves behind certainly an inspiring legacy, whether it was making history as Boston's first black commissioner, appointing the most diverse command staff in this department's history, reducing crime, getting guns off the street, creating the first ever Bureau of Community Engagement, or serving as a role model for our men and women and other officers, some of who are here with us today. It's always been clear how much he loves his job and loves his community and serving his community. I want to wish you, and the City of Boston wants to wish you the best in the next chapter, and hope you enjoyed a well-deserved retirement. Even though he retired, he was on a call this morning with us, and he was talking to me all weekend about what's going on in the City of Boston. So enjoy yourself, my friend, and thank you for everything that you've done. Dennis. And now I'm excited to name Dennis White as the 43rd Commissioner of the Boston Police Department. He certainly is a seasoned and well-respected veteran of the Boston Police Department, having served the community for 32 years. He had extensive experience in both investigation and patrol positions, and he played many roles in serving our neighborhoods. He began his career in D6 in South Boston as a police officer. Actually, a quick story, I was talking to Commissioner Joe Finn the other day, and Dennis was actually a firefighter, and they said that he was not cut out to be a firefighter, so he had to join the police department. So I just want to say, Commissioner Finn said that to you this weekend. So, but he began his career in District 6 in South Boston as a patrol officer. He went on to become Sergeant Patrol Supervisor in District 2 and a Sergeant Detective in District 4 in the South End and Internal Affairs. Before he joined the command staff in 2014, he was a Lieutenant and Duty Supervisor in District 2 in Roxbury, District 3 in Mattapan, District 13 in Jamaica Plain. He served as Deputy Superintendent in the Office of Superintendent-in-Chief in the Bureau of Field Services Night Command. He was promoted then to Chief of Staff to the Commissioner Gross to the rank of Superintendent. He's also a member of the Boston Police Reform Task Force, where he helped shape the community-led recommendations for police reform this summer. I am confident he will continue the Boston Police Department's reputation as a leader in community policing and advance the department's commitment to accountability and transparency, and help lead the Boston Police Department into a new era. We're also proud that he will serve on our nation's next great leaders in public safety, continuing to represent the great diversity of our police department in our city. Now I'd like to ask Commissioner White and his wife Jackie to please come to the podium. I will now recite the oath of office and repeat after me. I, Dennis White, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially perform all the duties incumbent on me as the Police Commissioner of the City of Boston, according to the best of my abilities and understanding, agreeably to the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution and laws of this Commonwealth, the ordinances of the City of Boston, and the rules and regulations of the Boston Police Department. So help me God. Congratulations, Commissioner. Yeah, go in front of me. Go in front of the podium. Stand. Turn around. And the commissioner was pinned by his far better half, his wife Jackie, so congratulations. And now I'm going to ask the commissioner to come to the podium and say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. To Pastor Gerald, thank you for your kind words and your friendship. I appreciate it. To Mayor Walsh, I am truly humbled and honored to be appointed the 43rd Police Commissioner. Thank you for entrusting me with the leadership of the Boston Police Department. I will not let you down. I have seen you firsthand with unconditional love and commitment to the residents of this beautiful city. Your steadfast commitment to the Boston Police Department for the past 7 years has resulted in a safer city and a more inclusive police department. I will forever appreciate your friendship. I wish you nothing but the best, ma'am. Commissioner Gross, my brother, thank you for your continued support and trust. You have led this department through a difficult year. You never wavered in your commitment to the well-being of the men and women of the department. Your commitment has also been shown in your love for the citizens of the city. I wish you the best, Commissioner, in your next chapter of life, my brother. Today, I am fulfilling the dream of my mother that she saw for me. I am so thankful to Mayor Walsh for seeing her vision come true for me. During my swearing-in ceremony as Deputy Superintendent in 2014, my mom was terminally ill with lung cancer. She needed assistance of oxygen and a wheelchair to be at my ceremony in 2014. When I knelt to her, she pinned my badge on me, kissed me, and whispered in my ear, "God can take me now." She was so proud of my accomplishments. Later, while speaking with my mother during that ceremony, she told me about a dream she had. First, it was that I would meet President Obama, and next, that I would be the Boston Police Commissioner. 5 months later, in 2014, I lost my mom to cancer. In March of 2015, I had the honor of meeting and taking a picture with President Obama. So today, February 1st, 2021, Beverly's dream came true for her favorite child. Yes, I was her favorite. She told me so while smiling and laughing with me and my siblings. As proof to my siblings' playful arguments of who's mom's favorite, mom's dream came true today, and therefore, mom never lied to us. To my wife, Jackie, daughters Tiffany and Brittany who could not be here with me, my son Lionel, my grandchildren Terrell, which could not be here, Jarrell, Tiffany too, and Jordan, my dad, Robert Morgan, my brothers, Jimmy and Bobby, my sisters, Dawn, Melena, and Lee, and my mother-in-law, Shirley Ragland. I am so grateful for your love and support throughout these past 32 years as a police officer. It's been a long and sometimes difficult road, but please know that today's honor could not have possibly happened without you by my side every step of the way. I truly love you all. I am also proof that it takes a village to raise a child. I was blessed to have grown up on Nottingham Street in the Four Corners area of Dorchester, where all families knew each other. Instilled in me as a child was respect for others. Disrespect was not an option. If any parent in the neighborhood saw us misbehaving, you knew it was only a matter of time before your parents knew. To my village families, please know that I accept this honor on behalf of you. My sincere love and appreciation to Mr. Charles and Barbara Alkins and family, Mr. Ed and Claire McPherson and family. The Boston Police Department has been tested this past year. The COVID pandemic has strained our resources with our officers working long hours in difficult situations. Still, the Boston Police Department has answered all the calls for service without hesitation to our citizens. To all our first responder families at the city, state, and federal level, thank you for your dedication and partnership. I will continue to prioritize health and wellness efforts for our sworn and civilian officers. To the residents of Boston, many relationships between the police and the communities they serve have been strained due to COVID and the national reckoning on racial justice. As Commissioner, the Boston Police Department will continue to prioritize community engagement to build trust and relationships with our citizens and community. We will get through this together, but we will have to make changes. In doing so, I am proud to represent the department on the Mayor's Task Force for Police Reform. To Mr. Wayne Budd, thank you for your invaluable insight and leadership to the task force as chairman. To my fellow task force members, Mutual respect was always given to me during our debates on recommendations, and I truly thank you. It will be my duty and honor as Boston Police Commissioner to see that all the recommendations under my direction are implemented. I know this will not be easy, but I am confident that the Boston Police Department will get the job done. I look forward to working closely with the members of the department, the communities, and all our partners to continue to make the Boston Police Department the best department in the country. We will continue to strive to be the best because of dedicated men and women who wear the uniform, along with our talented civilians who support their mission to serve our communities. Again, I am truly honored to be bestowed this 43rd Police Commission. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Commissioner White. And I also want to acknowledge with us today is Commissioner Dempsey from the Boston Fire Department, who's here today as well. And I want to thank Commissioner Dempsey as well in the Fire Department. They had a very busy weekend right now in Boston, as a lot of you saw on TV, with fires throughout the city. And thank God, for the most part, everyone is good. I'm going to now explain about COVID a little bit. The state numbers as of yesterday, there were 2,546 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 registered in the state of Massachusetts. 46 deaths were reported. In the city of Boston, as of the Friday numbers, I don't have the Saturday and Sunday numbers at this moment. We will, but 230 new confirmed cases as of Friday, bringing our total of 52,704. We had 8 deaths reported on Friday, bringing our total to 1,153. As I've said for the last year, my heart goes out to everyone who's lost a loved one to this horrible, horrible pandemic, and to everyone battling right now in the hospital. We want you to know we're thinking of you, and you're in our thoughts and prayers. Data for the week ending January 24th, an average of 4,969 people were tested each day. That's down 8% from the previous week, so that's something that's a little concerning. We want to get those numbers up. That does not include, as I always say, college testing. The average numbers of positive tests each day was 375. That's down compared to the week before of 10% decrease, which is a good number to have. We want to continue to see those numbers go down. Our current community positivity rate was 6.8%. That's also down from the previous week of 7.2. So we've had several weeks now in a row here of declining numbers as far as positivity rates for COVID-19. And it's over the last 2 weeks, it's down 1.6% in total. So that's also good to see improvements in those neighborhood numbers and numbers. So happy to see that. Throughout the pandemic, certainly we've taken a very cautious approach here in the city of Boston. We only move forward with reopening if public health experts say it's safe. In recent weeks, we've seen some improvements in our COVID numbers. That's why we're moving into phase 3, step 1 today. You can go to boston.gov/reopening to find a list of businesses that are allowed to reopen today. Also, last week, the state moved from high risk to moderate risk in their map. So that's certainly also encouraging news as we move forward here. But we need to continue to stay vigilant. Our numbers could change at any time. Every single person has a role to play in keeping these COVID numbers down. Everyone can take actions on a daily basis to protect themselves and their loved ones and the people around them. So I want to remind everyone again, continue to wear masks, social distance, wash your hands as often as possible with soap and warm water whenever you're touching. Get into that habit. It's really important to do that. Disinfect surfaces that are frequently touched, and also avoid large gatherings. I know that Super Bowl Sunday is next weekend. We're asking everyone to please refrain from getting together with people outside your household. I know that there is some excitement in Boston about that Super Bowl, so we want you to be very careful about that. We also want to make sure testing is part of your routine. We have 30 testing sites, including mobile sites, that are free open to all, regardless of symptom. So we're asking if you want to get tested, or you should get on a regular routine, go to boston.gov or call 311, and we can tell you what's available in your neighborhoods. If everyone continues to do their part, we'll be able to keep moving with a reopening and do it faster. We'll be able to safely bring people and activities back that we love and miss in our city, and help our businesses recover. So I can't stress enough the importance of staying ahead of this virus. We continue to work with the state on COVID-19 vaccine rollouts. We're working with them to expand vaccination sites to make sure that every community has equitable access to vaccines. Today, the Reggie Lewis Center in Roxbury was scheduled to open as a vaccination site. Due to the weather, all appointments will be rescheduled for the same times next Monday, February 8th. So anyone on an appointment today, your appointment now will be next Monday. As a reminder, the city's helping to get it up and running. The clinic will be vaccinating about 1,000 appointments per week. As we ramp up this site, it will become a mass vaccination site. This is in addition to the Fenway site, which also begins its vaccinations today. Fenway is a state-of-the-run site that opens today with adjustments to its schedule due to the weather. So just make sure if it's canceled, you'll get contacted. But right now, I know that they started vaccines this morning. We're also asking people with scheduled appointments to arrive early if you can. Try and get them in there. And once it gets up and running, we're going to try and get people in and out as quickly as possible. Another note about vaccine rollout, we want to make sure people are aware as this program gets off the ground. Supplies initially are limited. I know people are concerned, especially those who are eligible for the next round of vaccines. That includes residents 75 years old and older in the city. The rollout has caused frustration. It's been a confusing and inefficient process, especially for those who do not have access to the internet. We know that the state is working hard to remedy these issues. We're actually assisting the state to be able to figure this all out, and so we can get a better, smooth process. We hope and expect that things will speed up and more slots become available. If you think about vaccines, it's kind of like testing. When we started testing, it was a very difficult rollout in the very beginning, and now it's cruising along. We have over 30 testing sites in the city of Boston. We have some testing sites you can go in same-day testing, meaning you don't have to register. So we will get there with the vaccines as well, and Chief Martinez will come up in a minute and talk a little bit more about vaccinations. I also encourage, though, eligible groups to keep checking the state's website at mass.gov/COVID vaccine and register as soon as you're able to. You can also call Boston residents if you don't have internet and you can't get on or you don't know how to access it. Call 311 and ask for the city's Age Strong Commission. We're here to assist you. So any resident 75 years or older, or actually 65 or older, but your vaccines aren't ready yet. But eventually, if we can get anyone 75 and older, if you have any questions, call 311. And that will contact you, the City of Boston, and ask for the Age Strong Commission and tell them you want to talk about vaccines, and we can take it from there with you. As soon as the vaccines become available, I urge everyone to get one. The vaccine is safe, it's free, it's one of the best ways to protect yourself and your loved ones. Thousands of people of all races, ages, and backgrounds participate in vaccine trials to prove that it's safe for everyone. The science makes it clear it's one of the best tools we have to stop the spread of the virus. But bringing the virus to an end is going to take all the tools that we have to make it available. That includes following all of the COVID precautions, getting tested regularly, getting vaccinated when it's your turn, continue to wear masks, continue to physical, social distance if we can, when you can, and continue to follow the guidelines. I want to thank everyone who's continued to do their part to protect our city. I know that this has been a long way to go, and we have a little bit more to go, but I want to thank you for that. With that, I'm going to ask Chief Marty Martinez to come up and say a few words, and he'll take questions, any questions that you have on COVID. And then after that, we'll talk about snow preparedness.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the only additional piece of information I would give related to the vaccination process in the city is we continue to partner with the state to not only make sure we can go through the current process, ensuring that folks 75 and older can get access as phase 2 of the plan rolls out, but we're also actively working to prepare for the additional phases that are to come. And that means lifting up additional priority group clinics in partnerships with hospitals and health centers. That means ensuring that there are community-based clinics over the next several weeks to make it more accessible as we get further into phase 2, which will include essential workers, first 65 and older, and folks with 2 comorbidities, then essential workers like our K-12 educators, and so on as we move through the rest of the list. So for the city, following the state's guidance and state's leadership, we'll continue to do that and making sure that folks can get access when necessary along the way. way, which will be an important part of this work to protect everyone against COVID. So with that, that'll be the end of my remarks, and if there's any COVID-specific questions, I'm glad to take them before I pass it back to the mayor to talk about snow preparation. Yes? Yeah, so the question is about seniors or older Bostonians over 75 who may not live in congregate settings but also have trouble accessing or going out on their own to locations, and are there other provisions in place for that? So currently right now what the city's trying to do is our Age Strong Commission is working to be able to connect folks not only to appointments that may be more accessible to them than a larger site, but also to look at some transportation needs. We're exploring the ability to be able to do that. I think it's important, although we're talking about folks who don't live in those settings. Thus far already about 70 congregate settings of seniors have been part of the federal pharmacy program, which means vaccines have come to their buildings, and folks have been able to get vaccinated that way, with an additional building still to come over the next several weeks. But we are working specifically to reach out to community-based organizations that work with older Bostonians to make sure those of which who are not going to be able to go wait in line at a big site will be able to get access at other sites, and we're actively currently doing that right now. Other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Marty. As everyone has heard, and certainly all over the news today, we're expecting a snowstorm to hit today through tomorrow afternoon. The latest forecast from the National Weather Service, unless it's changed in the last 10 minutes, a winter storm warning is in effect until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, and a coastal flood advisory is in effect from 11 p.m. tonight until 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Boston could get between 12 to 18 inches of snow. Wind gusts could be as high as 45 to 50 miles per hour. Temperatures are going to be on the milder side with heavy and wet snow, which makes traveling very difficult. I want to thank our public works crews who have been out working hard to pre-treat and clean our roads, and they're out there right now pre-treating all the roads in the city of Boston. We have 42,000 tons of salt on hand, and we have the ability to put over 700 pieces of equipment on the streets. I encourage everyone to stay off the roads, if at all possible, from pretty much right now till tomorrow. The snow emergency will go into effect at 12 o'clock noon in the city of Boston today. A parking ban will be in effect for main roads that have restrictions during snow emergencies, also starting at 12 o'clock today. Parking is also banned in Boston Public School lots. We want to be able to get in there and clean it out so that they can be ready for school. This also is to allow Public Works to continue to do their work. A full list of streets that have parking bans on them, go to boston.gov. We also have discounted parking available at public garages and lots around the city of Boston. Parking at garages began 10 o'clock this morning, so this is something that we've done, so people that are used to it know exactly what the process is. Again, any information about parking options in all of our storm resources, you can go to boston.gov/snow. Some closures and updates relating to snow emergency. All Boston Public School buildings will be closed on Monday and Tuesday. All BPS students, including students who are scheduled to report for in-person learning, will attend classes online both today and tomorrow. They will have a partial day, which will end at 2.5 hours earlier than the regular dismissal day. There will be no in-person learning Monday or Tuesday in our Boston Public Schools. We're disappointed that the weather is not cooperating with our plans. We were planning today to return more than 4,000 students to in-person learning in the city of Boston. But we're grateful to our teachers, custodians, food service workers, bus drivers, and our school leaders who have been working around the clock to prepare for the return of our kids today. In-person learning will restart on Thursday, February 4th, and we look forward to welcoming back the students and staff in just a few short days. All Boston Public School meal sites will be opened until 2 p.m. today. All Boston Center for Youth and Family meal sites will be closed today. Residents are encouraged to check their non-BPS meal sites for hours. All Boston Center for Youth and Family community centers and Boston Public Library locations will be closed today. Street sweeping is canceled until further notice. Trash and recycling pickup will continue on a regular schedule today and tomorrow. And the mobile testing site at the Anna M. Cole Center in Jamaica Plain will be closed today. For other updates on testing, please visit boston.gov or call 311. Boston City Hall and 1010 Mass Ave will be closed today for normal business. Due to the snow emergency, the FY21 property tax bill and abatement application deadline will be extended until City Hall is next open. However, most of our city services can be completed online or over the phone, including payment of property tax bills. And we encourage residents to utilize our online services when possible. Please call 311 if you need assistance. I'm asking everyone, as I always do, to help do your part. Property owners are required to clean snow and ice from sidewalks and curb ramps abutting their property within 3 hours after snowfall. So what I'm asking people also is helping people if you could clear storm drains, curbs if you're on the corner, the ramps there, and also fire hydrants near your house. If you could go when you're shoveling, if you have a fire hydrant in front of your house, a curb, if you could do that, that would be extremely helpful to a lot of people. Space savers are not allowed at all in the South End by agreement, but space savers are allowed up to 48 hours after the end of a snow emergency. After that, it'll be anything in the spot will be considered trash, and as the trash goes around next week, we'll be picking things up. And we're asking people to, if you can, help your neighbors, disabled neighbors or seniors, by helping them with a path and shoveling them, and also checking on them while trying to maintain physical social distancing. But if you could check on people that might be housebound, that would be very helpful. Our shelters will be open 24 hours a day during the snow emergency. We coordinated a citywide network of providers and first responders to help people get into shelter. If you see somebody in distress who's not moving or looks underdressed for the weather, we're asking you to call. Please call 911. And we also have made arrangements for social distancing within our shelter systems. We have additional capacity around the city of Boston, so we're making sure that everyone can be safe when they go into shelter. For snow resources, there's a full list of resources and guidelines. I'll go to boston.gov/snow. For all non-emergency questions or concerns, you can call 311. We have additional call takers to make sure that we can handle the increased volume. For updates, including snow emergency news, you can sign up for all notifications by phone, text, or email. And we're also going to be working with all of the TV stations to get the most up-to-date information out. They're great about getting the information that we have out to the community. So anything that we have, we'll also give it to all the news desks so that you guys and ladies can get it out. You can also sign up for a Text Alert Boston to 888-777 and type in the word Alert Boston, and we will give you updates on your text if you haven't done that yet. Or you can visit boston.gov/alert Boston. With winter in New England, you never know what to expect, but Boston, we're always prepared. We're going to continue to be prepared. I want to thank the people of Boston for their hard work, for helping our city get through the first major snowstorm of 2021. And we've been on the phone, and City Council President Kim Janey has also been part of the conversations with us as far as preparation. Probably one of the things you have to be most prepared for down the road is dealing with a snowstorm. The last thing you want to do is have reporters chasing you around saying we didn't plow a street. So I want to make sure we get the work done. Before I close today, I want to recognize that today is February 1st. It marks the one-year anniversary since the first case of COVID-19 was confirmed here in the city of Boston. None of us had any idea what to expect a year ago. The pandemic has turned our city and our world upside down. Living with this virus has not been easy for anyone. Especially it's hard for the communities who have already faced the deepest historic disparities in health, economic outcomes. And everyone has had to make sacrifices. But we've also seen countless numbers of examples of Bostonians coming together. And that spirit helps us keep our chins up when times are especially tough. We need to know now more than ever, because this virus is still with us, it'll be with us for some time longer. But we look where we were 1 year later, February 1st, 2021. Today, we are moving towards phase 3, step 1 of reopening. One step closer to helping our economy recover and getting our life back to normal. We're opening 2 vaccination sites here in the city of Boston, a mass vaccination site at Fenway Park, which opens today, and soon a vaccination clinic tomorrow, the Reggie Lewis Center in Roxbury, which will expand into a mass vaccination site shortly. Thousands of people have already received the COVID-19 vaccine, and we're working to make sure our most vulnerable residents get vaccinated as soon as possible. So also, finally, we have a partner and leader in Washington who is committed to helping cities and states beat this virus. We have begun the process of healing, and we're going to get through this together. I want to thank you again and thank everyone for continuing to do your part every day, day in and day out, to help us get through this crisis. I want to thank again the media, the press, for constantly updating and keeping people alert every single day on all of the things that's happening. I want everyone, last thing I want to say is just everyone stay warm and safe out there today. Be careful when you're shoveling. I know we had a lot of news today, a lot of information here today, but this city is amazing, and I want to thank you all.